Everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarian, and the director of my porn, Rich Stamboli.
Oh, yeah.
There you
Just
go.
bend over. I would be a porn director from the 30s.
From the 30s. That's the gimmick right there.
Just bend over. Prohibition doesn't exist here. I'll pay in cigarettes and bootleg hooch.
Happy New Year,
Happy
Rich.
New Year.
Happy New Year. This is the first show of the new year. We took a couple weeks off to recoup. My goal was to redo the entire studio.
Yep.
And get everything in order, and it's worse than ever.
It's nice to see that you failed miserably with your resolution
I really
3 days
did.
in.
I really did fail in. Actually, you know what? Yesterday was really good. I did not drink too much. I went to the Rangers game with our friend Bob.
Yeah, hi.
Brutal Bob. And he, I was a really good boy.
Good.
But my God, if you go to the Garden, if you go to MSG, and you eat in their like club,
Yeah.
okay, it was like a $450 bill.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
For two people.
Yeah.
Okay, our liquor bill alone, and I did not really drink.
Yeah.
I had like 3 glasses of wine.
Yeah, that's
but
like
over
that's
like
$80, by the way.
It was $80. No, I'm not even kidding. It was
Yeah.
$80 over, and he had, I mean, whatever he had.
Yeah.
And we ate. I mean, the buffet is great, but
It's
it was a very expensive night. So,
I mean, we go to ball games and you can see how like that racks up.
but luckily,
you
I
know?
did not have to pay.
That's very nice. He's
That's
very
the
nice.
nicest part
He's
of it.
gonna. I feel like he's gonna cash that in one day and be like, "Hey, remember all those times I pay for your meals?"
Yeah, he's got to cash in. He's writing a bill here,
Bend
guys. There is so much news to talk about, and I have some semi-confirmed news that I
Yes.
risk legitimacy to talk about.
That you need to circle around a little bit.
A little bit. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you guys a little disclaimer here. Last night, I got in touch with somebody, or they got in touch with me, telling me pretty much confirming what I had initially heard about AEW and everything happening with AEW. Also, I have a lot of Ring of Honor news. I have
Great.
NWA news, obviously Wrestle Kingdom, obviously WWE. This is going to be probably the most turmoil-filled pro wrestling year I can imagine since the close of WCW.
But I think in a good way.
Since 2001 when ECW go, in a good way.
Yeah.
Short-term wise, this is great stuff.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about that and a whole lot more, but it's a new year and we need your support. Go to patreon.com/MattMenPodcast. That's patreon.com/MattMenPodcast and fund us there as little as $1 per episode. We give you guys every single week. You guys get access to the show. You get access to our awesome Discord where I pretty much go and leak all my stories on there. We have a Discord private chat, and generally what I do, I go in the main chat, and I go, Patreon members, join the Discord. I got some news for you. I'm like the Mean Gene hotline.
Yeah. And speaking of which, rest in peace, Mean Gene.
Rest in peace. Last night, I had a Mean Gene. I started my night with drinking a Mean Gene.
Oh yeah.
Double kettle, soda,
Splash cranberry.
and a splash of cranberry.
The Okerlund.
I had the Okerlund.
Very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Also, we'll be doing an extra right after this show.
Yeah, we're
so-
doing an extra. Have we decided which pay-per-view, which Rumble match we're watching?
It's up to you. I know you really want to do 92, and I'm very cool with doing 92.
I was thinking we would do 92 last because that's my
Okay.
favorite one.
Yeah.
Actually, let's leave it up to the fans, right?
Okay.
We have 92, we got 2001, we got 98, and let's throw in a fourth one.
Well, we already did 2000.
We did 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys post what you guys want us to do, and we'll do it for the bonus show. Guys, it's patreon.com/MattMenPodcast. Go there, hit the dollar button, make it rain on us, and you'll make us all happy. Mean Gene Okerlund yesterday passed away at the age of 76.
Unfortunate.
Also, Super Dave Osborne from
Curb Your
Curb Your Enthusiasm died at 76.
Funkhauser,
And I forgot the bodybuilder's name. My father knew him from, bodybuilding. He passed away, too. Very famous bodybuilder. He passed away as well. So that was your 3 that we got in one day.
And the captain from Captain and Tennille.
Yes.
Yeah. 76 years old. Sound weird.
That is weird.
They're all
right?
76.
Yeah, really weird.
Did you know that Super Dave was Albert Brooks' brother?
No, I did not know that.
I found out this morning. That's
I did not know
freaking
that.
crazy. Let's talk about wrestling.
So, Mean Gene Okerlund, let's start with that, actually. Let's get that out of the way. The Mean Gene passed away, one of the greatest stickmen in broadcasting history.
Absolutely.
There is nobody ever like Mean Gene. There'll never be another one like Mean Gene. He was 22 in 1980. He always looked like an old man.
Yeah. Some people just have those.
It was his
genetics.
cadence. It was his tone. You know, he was still recording. He was still working with the WWE for international markets. He was doing like WWE Vintage with, I think, Charlie or one of them.
Mm-hmm.
He passed away. I don't have the details exactly what happened.
Apparently, he took a bad fall.
Oh, is that what it was?
And just progressively got worse.
Okay.
Very unfortunate.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Mean Gene. I remember when I was come on, man. Like, you watch wrestling in the 80s. That was it, right? That was the guy.
And he was not he was not the best when we saw him. He was the best in the 70s.
You think so?
That's what everybody, I mean,
I don't know, man. I feel like and if you think about this too, like in regards to wrestling, here's Mean Gene. Mean Gene's like 5 and change, standing next to 6'8" Hulk Hogan, and that's what Vince has been gearing towards with the new announcers, right? Look how tiny Renee Young was when she was doing the backstage interviews.
Yeah.
Right? Look how tiny Charlie Caruso is.
Yeah,
and like Kathy Kelly and like all the people they have backstage, small people. To make everybody look big.
And then he had Coachman, and he was like a big dude.
Yeah.
Mean Gene, rest in peace. So where do you want to go? You want to go to AEW?
All right. We got to talk about AEW. AEW is it's like, I don't know. As a wrestling fan, I feel like it has like that very Turner vibe to it, right?
That's funny you say that.
Okay. Talk to me.
Last night I got some information from somebody in the TV business, and he made it very clear, without saying it, that a deal is nearly finished.
With television.
With television.
With a network.
With a network.
Excellent.
And his exact words were, you can figure out exactly where they're going if you look at their name.
Beautiful.
They have their TV is going to be called Tuesday Night Dynamites, which is TNT.
Right.
This would also incorporate TBS to some extent.
Oh, fantastic.
You also could look at how Dave Meltzer is not talking, right? Dave is very close to this situation.
Sure.
And there's a couple moving parts here. So let's begin with Tony Khan. Tony Khan's father is a billionaire, owns the Jaguars. Tony Khan runs the Jag organization, essentially. And by the way, I'm not a football fan, so if I'm off a little bit in my football information, forgive me on this. But Tony Khan has been a huge wrestling fan for the entirety of his life. He was a subscriber to the Wrestling Observer at like 10 years old. He's 30. He's in his late 30s, I think, Tony Khan. Very smart business guy, great business mind. The number that I am hearing is that he's possibly investing about $100 million into this project.
Which is fantastic.
Which is a lot of money. Now, we're not talking, if we're talking at the NFL or NBA, it's peanuts compared to that. But for a wrestling organization to get $100 million invested in it, there has to be TV.
Absolutely.
And it's not going to be Pop TV. It's not going to be the Pursuit Channel. It's not going to be Destination America.
It's not going to be the home TV Guide network.
It's not going to be TV Guide. It's not going to be True Network. It's not going to be Access. It has to be a major, major network deal. Now, I've been hearing TNT for a long time. The excitement that we see from a lot of people within the TV business that's talking and people from within the wrestling business, they're not treating this as if it's just another promotion trying to get TV.
Right.
Nobody's treating, and if you listen to Dave Meltzer and the way that he talks, now Dave isn't saying a lot because he knows a lot, but if you read between what he is not saying, this isn't going to be on Pop TV.
Right.
They are looking at being a serious competitor and being number 2.
Yeah.
They want to start off at number 2. What this means in the long run, a lot. They are throwing good money at people. Right now, the Bucks signed, by the way.
Yeah.
The Bucks signed, Cody signed, Brandy signed, Hangman. I think Hangman. I believe we're going to also get Scorpio Sky, Chris Daniels, and Frankie Kazarian.
They signed Britt Baker. They signed yesterday, too.
Yeah. So she signed also. So this is big, and I know there are a lot of people. Listen, we all have to be skeptical.
All right, we could be spectacles.
We could be that too. We have to be a little bit, and we have to kind of refrain from being excited. especially when we do the show. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just telling you guys. So my disclaimer is this is what was told to me
Yeah.
by more than one source. So
Yeah.
when I have one source, I don't really talk about it. I tell Rich.
Yeah.
And
I don't talk about it.
Like the Goldberg thing, right?
Yeah.
When I was told that Goldberg was coming back to wrestling in WWE, he I was told by somebody at from the video game division.
Mm-hmm.
So from 2K, it was confirmed to me 100%. Goldberg's coming. Goldberg's coming. Goldberg's coming. When Sting came, I was confirmed.
Yeah.
So I always look for two sources. I have more than two sources on this. And the problem is, if one source tells another source, it's hard to kind of gauge.
Mm-hmm.
That's how media is. That's how, for lack of a better term, fake news gets spread.
Yeah.
Because everybody's confirming and it's all coming from one source. So this is what I have been told.
It's clickbait.
And it looks like this is becoming a legitimate thing.
I'm excited. I know you're saying that we should curb our excitement, but I think the excitement of like, ooh, let's see what happens. And hopefully, obviously, it doesn't tank. Hopefully, it's a good investment.
Yeah.
Apparently, according to a lot of our social media followers who are Panthers fans, they were saying like, you know what,
Panthers
like
or Jaguars?
Jaguars. Sorry. That these guys, that this dude invests the money wisely for the team.
I've also seen people write, I can't support anything with if the cons are involved with it.
Yeah.
And I've asked them why. And I haven't heard back why.
One guy posted that he didn't appreciate that he locked arms in support of players taking a knee.
So it's political. Okay, I thought
it's political.
Fine.
Like,
fine. I get it. Fine. I get it.
Yeah.
Fine.
But
here's the other thing.
Got it.
So now you got to look at who's involved. Cody's the president of. He's the Eric Bischoff, essentially.
Yeah.
Tony Khan is the money guy.
He's the Ted Turner.
Right. You're gonna have the Bucks booking. You're gonna have a lot of wrestlers booking.
I think it's gonna be a lot of wrestling,
and a lot of people are saying that's a bad thing. Active wrestlers booking.
Yeah.
Active wrestlers have booked through all of professional wrestling.
Absolutely.
It depends on who the active wrestler is.
Vern Gagne.
Well, that went downhill. Kevin Nash.
Nash.
So we got to wait and see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the other thing. They are working with Barry Bloom.
Yeah.
Barry Bloom is a attorney and a sports attorney, agent, manager, whatever. He represented like all those WCW guys, right?
Smart
Kevin
guy.
Nash, all those guys. But right now, he represents Jim Ross. He represents Chris Jericho.
Really?
And Bill Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Goldberg followed AEW, and AEW followed Bill Goldberg. I'm not saying Bill Goldberg is going there.
He's the GM.
I'm next. I'm all in. Oh God, it's gonna happen. That's it.
Double or nothing. It's
Double or nothing.
Yeah.
So with Barry Bloom involved, this is no joke. And the reason I've heard Barry Bloom is involved to be a liaison for getting a lot of the WWE guys that are unhappy.
Yeah, Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder would be great, but Britt Baker's there, right? That's his. No, Chelsea Green is his girlfriend. Yeah, Britt Baker is.
I want to say Marty's girl. Or
no.
Adam Cole.
Adam Cole.
Okay.
Adam Cole.
Interesting, right? It's so interesting.
Very interesting. But you're gonna need more talent than just Cody and the Young Bucks.
Well, let's talk about
guy.
that. Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about that. There's a big rumor that WWE and AEW, amongst other companies, are fighting for one specific guy that WWE's throwing money at, and who knows who's going to...
Kenny Omega.
No. I don't think it's going to be Kenny.
The rumor that there's one guy that everybody wants.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Penta.
Penta's great, but he's not the man.
He is one of the guys. He's one of the guys.
Listen, he's a great accessory.
Absolutely.
He's a great secondary. He's a great guy to have a feud with. Who's going to be the man? And that's what it really comes down to.
Yeah.
Do you have that guy?
I think they're going to put some kind of belt on Hangman.
I'm saying main event guy off the bat that's going to draw viewers.
Well, that's where this interesting thing happened.
Leave Daniel Bryan. This happened, a couple of months early, right?
This is where the conflict kind of comes in a little bit, like you were saying, and like the different kind of waters that we're wading in. the immediate name that you want attached to this is Kenny Omega, right? But don't you want to see Kenny succeed even more in Japan?
I don't
Unless
know.
there's a deal happening.
But listen, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Kenny's run in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
has as champion,
Yeah.
has been fine, but
Uh-huh.
it has not been business changing for them.
Okay.
Okay, like his pursuit for the championship was
Mhm.
business changing.
Yeah.
Him having the title since Dominion has not really gotten the attention.
Okay.
All I remember is the Ishii match.
Okay.
Right? He feuded with Cody. He had 2
Mhm.
matches with Cody.
Mhm.
He had a match with Ishii. And there was another one. He had I think 3 defenses, whatever
3
it was.
defenses so far.
And that's fine. That's fine. That's how they book in Japan.
Yeah.
They book tag matches. But as American fans, we're not conditioned to have the champion in mixed tags every single card
Right.
except for the big one.
Right.
So I think he's at the peak right now
Mhm.
of popularity that he will get, and he needs to decide what the move
Mhm.
is.
I disagree with that.
You think he could get even bigger in Japan?
I think he can get even bigger in Japan just because of like who the guy is, the story, the fact that the people love him, the fact that he's so inundated in the culture. And I think the Okada stuff was completely amazing, right? This Tanahashi story, I think, it's for some reason, I feel like it's getting swept under the rug a little bit. But I think the Tanahashi story is one of the best things that New Japan has done in the last year. You know, the difference in ideologies,
Okay.
right? As far as him staying in Japan, I think he will stay in Japan, and I think there will be some kind of deal with, let's say, if it's AEW, do the crossover New Japan. I don't think
Japan is preparing for him to leave.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think with
Jay White coming up.
Jay White coming up, they're preparing some
Mhm.
guys. A lot of guys are getting elevated.
Mhm.
They're trying to. Japan does a great job of replacing talent.
Absolutely.
They do a very good job at building and booking. New Year's Dash is going to be pretty evident as to what happens.
It's gonna be the day after Mania.
It's always even bigger. I mean, we got those big angles and stories the day after. So that'll be interesting.
Mhm.
I think for Kenny Omega, you want a guy to build. That's the guy that you build AEW with.
Okay.
And you have him there feuding with the Pentas and the
Mhm.
Jerichos and the Codys and anybody else, whoever is available.
But the problem with that is, like you said, like who's the guy? It's one thing to have a big get.
They need a guy.
Kenny Omega,
Yeah,
right?
you need a guy.
But who's he gonna feud with? In Japan, you have guys like Okada, Tanahashi, Jay White, Naito, right? You have
But I'm gonna tell you,
top
a
dudes.
lot of the American and Western fandom
Mhm.
towards New Japan, the resurgence was the Bullet Club.
Absolutely,
No question about it. It was Nakamura
Mhm.
and it was AJ Styles and the Bullet Club.
And Tanahashi.
But Tanahashi was there prior, and he was
Yeah.
putting on these great matches. Okada was putting on the great matches.
Yeah.
We like them now because we learned the product, but it
Mhm.
was really the Bullet Club that brought a lot of Western attention.
Yeah.
Now that that's gone, and the Bucks are gone, and Cody's gone,
Mhm.
having Kenny there alone will, if he stays, is a great test to see how much of a draw Kenny is outside of Japan. Obviously, he could grow and get bigger and become I mean, he already is a mega star, but
Mhm.
that's only a small portion.
Okay.
If you remove all of these moving parts that brought Western attention,
Yeah.
and you remove Ring of Honor and you move this, where is on the scale of main event guys? Does Kenny drop? I think he drops when you take away everybody, the supporting cast.
I don't think he does. I think he gets elevated more because
Not in Japan. I'm saying globally.
No. Oh, okay. That's a good point. But I think the dude's a champ. He has that confidence and the star power, I think, to be top dog anywhere. My thing is, he's called the best bout machine for a reason. Who's he gonna feud? Like, let's say you build AEW. Who's he gonna feud with? On a constant level. You need a lot of signings, right?
I'll give you another example.
Okay.
Right after All In, which was a tremendous success.
Yeah.
There was a New Japan show in America.
Yes.
That nobody watched. Nobody
That is
watched.
true, yeah.
And the attendance was abysmal.
7,000, I think.
A little less.
Yeah.
Way less than that, actually.
Oh, wasn't it?
So it was it obviously too much too soon.
Oh, I'm thinking of the gaming show that he put on.
No.
Sorry. Yeah,
I'm saying MG Geek. Do you remember what the numbers were for that? Because we were watching. Nobody was aware of the show. New Japan has kind of gotten messed up with their marketing in North America because they got rid of the guy, and now it's like a scramble on how to market product in North America. There's a lot of management shifts happening. Nobody watched that show, and it was a really good show. So I think the attention that a lot of the Western culture has given to New Japan will leave and go to AEW.
That's interesting.
Because it's obviously it comes down to accessibility. It comes down to viewership, and we only have so much room for pro wrestling in our lives.
Okay.
So that's where we're at right now with this. And Kenny has to make a decision where, okay, listen, he conquered Japan. He won the title. He's inundated in the culture. We get that. He's very much their guy.
Yeah.
But when you remove all these moving parts and you take away the Bullet Club, you take away Cody, you take away... By the way, I thought the Cody feud was really poorly done with him and Cody.
Really?
Yeah, I thought they botched that.
I disagree.
You know, Ibushi doesn't like signing a contract.
Right. Ibushi might end up Golden Lovers in AEW.
Listen, a lot of these moving things...
Yeah.
You're only as good as the people that you're around.
Sure.
And if you remove those guys, I don't know what happens to your stardom. Now, I'm not saying Kenny's not a star. He obviously is. He put on the greatest match in pro wrestling history.
Right.
3 times in a row.
Exactly.
So, but in order to be, you need to do more than just put on great matches, and he does.
Yeah.
I think this is the moment that he really has to decide, does he like his Japan bubble, or does he want to really be the greatest pro wrestler ever? Because he's on that level.
I think he's on
that
the way.
trajectory. I'm not saying he's Flair, or I'm not saying he's Shawn Michaels, but he's on that path.
Yeah.
And every decision he makes will get to that.
But do you think he needs American exposure at this point to do that? Do you think he needs that? In this day and age where everything is so accessible by the internet, like he single-handedly put on like that.
He does.
That video game support wrestling show, which is
we're
great.
the journalists. We're the journalists.
Okay.
We're the guys that write history. They're all here. You know, you need more than Dave Meltzer telling people that you're the greatest.
I understand that
ever.
But he also did. But I think the thing with Kenny is that he branches out so far beyond pro wrestling that it almost doesn't matter. It's great to have the American audience, and it's great to do this and that. But wouldn't that be, if he leaves New Japan, wouldn't that be a spit in the face of this of all the philosophy and all this stuff that he's talked about for the last few years?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
I think he's him being in Japan was the catalyst to his amazing success. Him leaving will take him to the other level. You know, do you want to be? I'll give an example. Okay, Kabashi. Okay. Masawa.
Okay.
2 of the greatest Japanese wrestlers ever.
Sure.
Nobody knows them outside of wrestling.
Outside of wrestling fans,
right?
Okay.
Outside of the hardcore.
Sure. So you're saying for Kenny to be a true international star, he needs to come to America and establish himself in America
as the guy.
Okay.
Of a promotion, the guy. And you know what? Yes, he is the guy right now in Japan.
Yeah.
He'll never be the Okada of Japan.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
You don't think he would be the king of Japan?
So. He will not be the king of Japan.
I think he would, man.
He'll never be. I mean, Tanahashi. He won't be Tanahashi. He won't be Okada. He won't be Kabashi. He won't be Masawa. He won't be Muda.
Japan loves their guy jeans.
They do, especially
Scott Norton.
Yeah, but they're not.
Bruiser Brody.
Yeah, but these are not.
Stan Hansen.
Bruiser Brody in history. I mean, we know him, but at the end of the day, you want to be the man. And I think for Kenny, it really has to come down to, does he go to WWE? Does he stay independent and be that traveling champion?
It would be very interesting if at the end of the day he signs with WWE.
Listen, man, that's a very big 6-figure deal that they're offering.
Yeah.
The only reason why he wouldn't go is because he likes his flexibility and he's terrified that they would ruin him.
Yeah, yeah.
And we saw what happened to Nakamura. But we've also seen what they've... But listen, AJ Styles is a great example of taking a guy and booking him properly. But is AJ Styles the man in the company? No. He's not the guy.
You know what? You know what's funny? I think AJ is in that weird CM Punk position.
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
he's the fan favorite,
Yeah.
but they're not tying the wagon.
Yeah,
to
you know
him.
who the guy is in WWE?
Who?
Seth Rollins,
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose,
Roman Reigns.
Reigns, Brock Lesnar,
Mhm.
not even Daniel Bryan.
John Cena with his crazy
John
hair.
Cena with his crazy hair, Braun Strowman. These are the guys. AJ Styles is not the man. He's not the guy that the company is saying, he's our world champion. He's the one doing all the opinion. He's the guy that's going to raise our ratings. AJ Styles is putting on great. Listen, that 5-way on SmackDown,
Awesome.
is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right? Mustafa Ali
Good for him, man.
pretty much said in that match, he hung with the big boys.
Yeah.
I thought I want to see him and Rey Mysterio have a feud. I want to see
Absolutely.
Mustafa Ali and Randy Orton have. I want to see all of this.
More Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Maybe Nakamura even.
Nakamura even. I mean, they've solidified a guy that could possibly be a good secondary or third guy on the card.
Absolutely. But I do think if you place him with the quote unquote wrestlers, the more agile guys, you'll get good matches.
Yeah.
But I feel like, again, and this is just my fan speculation, you put him with a guy like Rusev, I feel like the mystique is gone
With who?
with Mustafa Ali. You know what I
And Rey
mean?
Mysterio.
Rusev.
Oh,
If you
Rusev.
put him with Rusev. Put him with a guy like Rusev. You're
Yeah,
kinda
I mean,
like, this might be a dud.
Yeah, but there are other guys that could do it. I
Yeah.
think he's definitely solidified himself as a guy.
Mhm.
But let's see where they go with that again.
Absolutely.
But AJ Styles is a great example of taking a guy
Mhm.
and he was just going to be a mid card guy.
Mhm.
He was going to feud in a mid card and put on great matches, and that was the goal. And now he based on his workability and his stability, he became a top guy. But again, 40 years old, Samoa Joe, 40 years old. WWE needs to start thinking, okay, well, we need to really make a big star here.
Yeah.
Where would Kenny Omega fit on the main roster as a top guy?
Honestly, like I would because who knows if this is BS or not, but the way that they're hinting at it, I know the
3,000
shows.
was the attendance, by the way,
Okay,
for that show.
I know the shows were for the last couple of weeks have been pre-taped, but it seems like they're like, all right, we got to do some more edgy stuff. We got to give the guys what they want. Here's Gallows and Anderson. Here's a mean AJ Styles. Here's some more Finn Balor. You know what I mean? Like here's an angry Seth Rollins. I think with that current mindset, you put Kenny on Raw, and that's it. Put him in a main event feud
With who?
Seth Rollins,
Okay.
Finn Balor.
And then what's the storyline?
That he's gonna upset the
There's only
Becky Lynch.
yeah, but again, like Kenny is a very what's his character?
You know
what
what's
I mean?
funny?
Like there's no.
You know what's funny? You have a habit of loving people to a certain point, and then not anymore.
No, I love him.
No, I
do.
understand that, but you get to a certain point. CM Punk, Nakamura, Kenny Omega, great examples from when we were doing
CM
our
Punk,
show.
okay, yeah.
Where
CM
you'd
Punk-
go from 1 week saying, "Oh, they're the best," to like, you know what, maybe.
No, they are the best. No, like I'll give you. I think Kenny Omega is the best.
Okay.
I don't, but I'm not looking at it as a wrestling fan. I'm looking at it as a mainstream. Just the guy that's watching Raw.
Okay.
What does he know Kenny Omega? No.
Right.
Has he heard of him? Probably. He's seen something.
Okay.
Does he care about him defending the title against Tanahashi? No, he does not care. So in order to become the guy in pro wrestling, you need to get those guys interested in you.
People like new stuff, though. I think that's the big thing.
They do. But
You know?
do you believe that the WWE will take him and handle him properly? I mean, here's a great example in our chat. First feud for Omega will be a 6-month feud with Dolph Ziggler. Okay, great example. What does that do for Kenny?
But that's the other thing too. Like I feel like I hope that mentality gets thrown out the window at some point. You can't have like those weird gatekeeper guys like do stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think the magic of a lot of pro wrestling was just and AJ Styles was a good example. Showed up in the Rumble and then immediately went to the top of the card. Right?
Yeah.
Nakamura, however, had the other way of handling where he did that Ziggler feud.
Yeah. And what happened?
Exactly. Like so it gets a little muddled as opposed to like making an impact. I think they need to like one big fix. You need to go back to making an impact, right?
Well, Ronda Rousey, great example, right? Ronda Rousey
Awesome.
came in
Great.
hot.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're in the bubble, you don't see things.
Mhm.
Her coming out, and I know exactly why they're booking her the way that she is.
Oh, yeah.
Right? She comes out smiling and waving and hugging the kids and
Yeah.
gets in the mic and becomes,
Festus.
whatever. So, yeah, Festus. Gets in the ring and
Uh-huh.
becomes a monster.
Yeah.
What point of all of that do they say, you know what, this looks really silly?
Mhm.
This is really silly, her coming out. Like, she needs to be dominant. The other thing,
Yeah.
with her armbar,
Yeah.
I hate that they're not tapping out immediately.
Okay.
Okay? She locks that armbar in. They're selling it like pro wrestling.
Well, yeah.
I get
This
it.
is pro wrestling.
I get it. But we're so used to seeing that armbar laid in and people tap the second it's locked.
Right.
Why not do it that way?
Mhm.
Why not do it that way and have everybody tap, and then slowly the more higher profile person you're wrestling,
Yeah.
maybe they hold on to it a little bit more until that one person that doesn't tap and reverses it and beats you.
Here's my prediction. Ronda Rousey turns super heel. Becky Lynch super face at WrestleMania.
I don't know if I want to see that.
Why not?
I like the roles.
Because Becky's the Austin.
Well, Becky,
right now.
yeah, Ronda Rousey will get booed.
And also, Becky
Yeah.
did a stunner at a live show the other day.
Yeah, I posted it. Becky Lynch will get cheered,
Uh-huh.
and Ronda Rousey will 100% get booed in that match.
Great.
So
That's
maybe
what should happen.
maybe they want that to happen. All natural,
That's what should happen.
all natural, baby.
Yeah, I think so. I think that would be such a fantastic little match for WrestleMania. You know. Anyway,
Here's another information. A little bit more information.
Go ahead.
So NXT is up in their rate for independent talent.
their signing rate.
Top independent talent. They have. I've heard the amount, and it's tremendously more than what it was a couple years ago. I mean, by the way, I'm not talking Nakamura's contract. I'm not talking, well, Nakamura was one. Samoa Joe. Give me another big talent that went to NXT.
Probably Drew. I think they gave Drew a good.
They gave Drew good money. Yeah, it's
good
like
money.
I'm not talking about EC3 got good money.
Yeah. Finn Balor got $14K a year.
Finn Balor got Finn Balor, Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens got a little bit more, but these guys came in at that starting rate.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about lower guys.
Yeah.
Johnny Gargano gets good money.
Yeah.
Tommaso Ciampa.
I'm sure
gets
at this
good
point
money.
they all get-
I mean,
they all
all
get
those
good money,
all the
yeah.
top guys are making okay. I mean, the whole thing was you don't make as much as the WWE guys,
Right.
so you're right under there. But that's all out the window. Right
Yeah.
now, they are offering WWE money to some of these guys to go there.
But let's have this conversation. Okay.
Yeah.
So I made a little list
Okay.
of guys that could possibly get signed by AEW, right?
By the way,
Pentagon.
Before we go
Yeah.
into that, I
Yeah.
do want to remind everybody, we are doing a lot of content this year, a lot of content,
Yeah.
and with your support, we could do a whole lot more. Patreon.com/MattMen Podcast. Go fund us there. That's Patreon.com/MattMen Podcast. All right, so give me your list.
So okay, so going with that, where it's like who's gonna sign who, who's gonna go where, right?
Okay.
I do think your big indie guys in the last couple of years have been scooped up by either NJPW or WWE, right? Look at that NXT roster: Ricochet, Matt Riddle, Aleister Black, Velveteen, Gargano, Ciampa.
Yes.
Right? These were
Phenomenal.
the indie darlings, right? Easy three.
Roderick Strong.
Roderick Strong, like Red Dragon, Adam Cole. Who's left, right? Joey Ryan,
Joey Ryan.
which I don't think WWE has interest in,
He'll go to AEW.
right? Pentagon, possibly.
Penta's very interesting because, Pentagon and Phoenix are a
The
package.
brothers, yeah.
Well, they're that's how they're negotiating.
Fantastic. AEW or WWE?
He's interesting
Mhm.
because he could do well in both.
Okay.
He could do very well in both. I would go to AEW first and then go to WWE.
Because Phoenix would get lost in the shuffle.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay. And then who else do you have that are like big draws on the indies? Zack Sabre possibly, if he's not signed by anybody, like full time. Jeff Cobb.
Jeff Cobb is going to be a big star for Ring of Honor.
Flip
Flip Gordon is
He's right. I think
Ring
he's
of Honor. I don't know his contract situation. Marty.
Marty.
Well, Marty's very interesting because
Yeah.
if you notice, Marty's not around for any of this AEW stuff.
Because I think he's signed with
Dude, something happened with him. Okay,
Mhm.
over the summer, I was hearing a lot of like stuff, but it was like
Mhm.
independent wrestling bullshit. You know, like I was like, okay, whatever. And then we saw what happened at All In,
Uh-huh.
and then we saw the Cruise. So a lot of disconnects there
Yeah.
between everybody. His contract ends. I think he has a contract with Ring of Honor till April. Marty.
Okay.
So I believe he did do an extension with them.
Okay.
So Marty still could go to AEW, but I think Marty would more likely go to WWE. Like I'm saying focus wise.
Okay. Ring of Honor did give him his own stable.
He does, and it's like a weird stable of Brody Lee and PCO.
Yeah, not
Monster
Brody
people.
Lee.
Brody Lee.
It's not Brody Lee. That's
Brody-
not his name. Brody Lee was.
Oh no, Brody Lee is
yeah.
Luke Harper.
Yeah.
What's his name? Somebody. My brain isn't.
Yeah,
working.
it's Bro. I forgot his name too.
Jim Brody.
PCO, that dude. and
Brody King.
Brody King.
Too many Brodies, man.
Villain Enterprises, right?
Yeah.
So Marty has to stay in Ring of Honor until his contract's up.
Yeah, but that's a weird. And by the
Yeah.
way, that's when you patch something up like that, it's not gonna. That's a very Ring of Honor stable too.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
It reminds me of the House of Truth.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
a random mishmash.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that, and I think this is just Marty Scurll working to the end of his contract.
Yeah. Dalton Castle.
Dalton is going to stay with Ring of Honor.
You think so?
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna jump ship to somewhere, and I'm thinking NXT.
You could do that, but Dalton Castle will become another Tyler Breeze.
Okay. Mike Elgin.
Elgin is interesting. Elgin has that stink on him from that
Yes.
stuff. I think he's going to float around for a little bit.
Because he was set a couple of years ago to be one of the big guy jeans in New Japan, which he is, but up like higher on the card.
He's another one that people sometimes they don't want to commit,
Okay.
and I don't know. I can't. I've heard stuff about dealing with him.
Okay. But he's on that list, right?
Yeah.
Of just like hard workers. Marco Stunt.
Marco Stunt is really hurt,
Mhm.
and he's very little, and I think AEW would be the best place for him because he would get a pop because of the rest of the people that watch him.
Cool. Joey Janela.
Joey Janela's banged up, and Joey Janela's it could be a big star.
Okay.
He just needs to commit to working a little bit harder.
Sure.
Tone up that body a little bit because he has all the charisma and all the passion.
Yeah.
I think Joey Janela could become a huge star if he goes to AEW.
Okay.
Not in NXT.
Here's a good one for you. Jericho.
Chris Jericho's represented by
Yes. Barry Bloom.
Barry Bloom.
So
Chris Jericho also is making a big announcement for his cruise again. So that to me means that he is not signing with WWE because there is no way that they're going to allow him to put on a wrestling show working with Ring of Honor and whoever else.
Yeah. Impact.
He has no loyalty to Ring of Honor.
Uh-huh.
I know they were working very hard to try to get him.
Yeah. They probably couldn't afford him, like flat out.
I said Ring of Honor. I think the people that are going to really suffer is Ring of Honor.
Absolutely.
I think there's a couple of reasons. One, if that Japan connection expires and they go to AEW, or if they're already preparing with this Crockett Cup.
Yeah.
They're in the Crockett Cup, and they're in the they're working with NWA. I think they're preparing to have a bigger relationship with NWA.
Sure.
And if Japan leaves, also if you look at Japan, they're allowing Cody and the Bucks and everything to do a lot of AEW stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You got to sometimes read between the lines.
Here's an interesting thing for you too, which I think we're done with like the signings and all that. I mean, like I'm sure there's a ton of great indie guys out there, but at that level,
MLW also is locking guys up. By the way,
yeah, they just locked up Davey Boy Jr.
Davey Boy Smith Jr. Bandito's going to ROH also.
Yeah.
Where's Roosh going?
I don't know. You know what's interesting? It's like the panic button almost got hit.
It did. That is
You know?
that is such a good way of putting it.
Like we need these
Yeah.
guys. We need as much as we can.
You know, the quiet from the WWE
Mhm.
is never a good thing. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of internal stuff happening there where a lot of people are hitting the like freaking out a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's also a whole different side that thinks this is a joke and this is like TNA.
Mhm.
Because WWE has gone through this again,
Absolutely.
time after time.
Yeah.
They did this with WCW. They did this with NWA picking up. They did this with WCW. They did this with ECW.
Mhm.
They did this with TNA. I mean, TNA at one point was becoming a nuisance for them,
Yeah.
but it was never on the scale
No.
of a billionaire investing money
Mhm.
with a potential major
Yeah.
TV deal. You know, we could talk about Pop TV and Spike TV. You know, TNA going to Spike was big,
Yes.
but it was such a chaotic mess with management that WWE knew it was only time.
Doesn't this speak volumes of Ring of Honor and Impact as a company? Whereas, and I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but the fact that Cody and the Bucks have that it factor, that an investor, a billionaire is saying, you know what? I could have bought any of these guys. I want you guys. You know, this guy could have easily invested in Impact. He could have easily invested in Ring of Honor. He was like, I'm taken by Cody and the Bucks. These guys are exactly what I want.
Yeah.
This is what I'm building. I'm investing in these people. Isn't that crazy?
Well, listen, Impact is they're putting on. Listen, I don't want any promotion to go away. Impact is putting on decent TV, but
Wasn't there a spoiler that Brian Cage won the championship?
Something, yeah.
Sorry guys.
Sorry. But they have this terrible stink.
Yeah.
Of years of mismanagement where you're never going to commit to it.
Too blue.
It's way too blue.
It's very blue.
Ring of Honor is always going to be no matter how big they get, dude, they're always going to be a secondary or third rate promotion.
Like AAA, like a AAA type.
They're like
not
ECW,
AAA, the wrestling
ECW,
federation, but like a
ECW.
baseball team. You know,
you have a little bit of a following, you go to a couple of shows, and it's always a good show, but you're just it's not going to be that. The other problem is, in order to be a successful promotion, it takes way more than decent storylines and good wrestling. You need, and I actually made a post of this on Twitter. You can follow us, Matt Men Podcast, on Twitter. I was talking to my friend from TV, and he gave me a great example of what you need to be a successful promotion. This is what he said to me. AEW's initial first 6 to 8 months is going to come down to a few things in this order: what network picks them up, overall presentation, visuals, marketing, captivating storyline, and pro wrestling. Pro wrestling is last on that list.
Yeah. You need showbiz.
You need showbiz. You need a big bang.
And that's what I think turned so many people off of Ring of Honor is like, and a lot of wrestling fans too were like, oh, I can't watch this. It
looked like crap way too long.
It's just black curtains.
Yeah, it looked like crap. And when they finally put some money in and for a stage, at this point you already have an idea what a Ring of Honor is.
Yeah.
Also, Sinclair has never hit that button.
Right.
They've always a little bit. They pull back a little bit. They pull back.
Yeah.
Sinclair is one of the biggest TV networks out there. Major networks. They're not in New York.
Right.
How do you have a wrestling promotion that doesn't have national exposure to that level? You're doing syndication because it does well for you in small markets.
Yeah.
But you don't have a national distribution platform. You're not in New York.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest markets for television. You're not in it.
Yeah.
I listen, by the way, when I say they're not in it, I think they're on Comet on Saturday afternoons or whatever the bullshit channel they're on. How are you not on TV like that? Also, listen, when and by the way, that presentation I gave, Bob Hazelwood goes, sounds like Vince Russo. This is how Vince Russo, for all the shit that he's done, he kind of understood that there is a very small group of people that like pro wrestling. And that number, from what I'm told, is about 300,000 people. 300,000 North American fans that love pro wrestling. You can't build a product on 300,000. You can't get mainstream exposure with 300,000. That's a great core for you.
Yeah.
But you know what you need? You need those. Those are called P1s.
Okay.
In marketing, right? In show business, those are called P1s. That's the low hanging fruit.
Mhm.
That's the easy get. But those P2s,
Yeah.
those guys that they're not really committed. They know the P1s are they know
Yeah.
everything about pro wrestling.
Right.
The P2s are the guys that watched it in the Attitude Era
Sure.
that they see a YouTube video and they watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't buy tickets. They don't know what are pay-per-views. They have the WWE network.
It's
They
like
don't
a
really watch
throwaway.
NXT.
Yeah.
The P3s are the guys flipping the channel and so on, so they just keep it on.
Yeah.
And they hear Austin giving McMahon they see Austin giving McMahon a favor and they watch it.
Yeah.
That's how it's done. The P1 is there, and the P1 is only 300,000.
Yeah.
Let's say 5. Let's throw 500,000.
Sure.
What's going to happen when AEW debuts and they only have 300,000 views because they're a pure wrestling show?
Okay.
It's not going to. Nothing's going to happen.
Do you consider All In a pure wrestling show?
I think it was a pure wrestling show.
What is this? I'm getting Skyped right now.
You got pornography?
No, I'm getting Skyped by Joe to Max. Got it.
So
I think it's not from today.
So when you talk about the P1s and the P2s, that really matters in broadcasting.
Do you consider All In? Did you consider All In a pure wrestling show?
All In was a pure wrestling show.
Even with dudes dressed like dicks coming to the ring?
Here's a message. Yes, that's
Okay.
they're catering to P1s.
Okay.
That All In was a P1 show.
Okay.
The thing about Turner, the potential. The thing about the potential Turner deal is that the corporate synergy. The P2s and P3s will be lured in by watching promos for AEW, for NBA, and One Championship coverage.
Uh-huh.
Also, Turner does esports and owns Bleacher Report. Isn't that interesting? That helps convert the P2s and the P3s. The box in one of those debut shows that box in for the debut show with Lakers game. That's right.
Okay.
So this is how you get an audience.
Yeah.
It's not only about us.
Right.
Like we are the guys. People watching this
Mhm.
are the guys going to indie shows.
Absolutely.
The people that are on the forums. They're on Squared Circle on Reddit. They're in Matt Men's group. This is a small fraction of when you talk about a success.
Right.
WWE has a tremendous amount of P2s and P3s.
Yes.
Because you have the dads, you have the kids, you have the mom, you have Total Bellas, you have
Do we
Total
ever?
Divas. You have all this mainstream crossover that may potentially tune in. All In didn't have that. All In only had wrestling and guerrilla marketing and promoting it that way.
But it says a lot that from that point to this point, like that no other promotion could do that, right? No other promotion could catch the eye of fans and investors like these guys did.
Yeah.
And I think that's just like it's such a recipe for success. You know, I hope they do so fantastic. And it gives us we have alternatives, but I feel like this is an exciting alternative in the States.
Listen, I mean, the guy that's messaging me right now, which thank you very much. Think about that, right? You're watching the Lakers game.
Right.
So Lakers, high profile Sunday evening, or playoff, whatever,
Sure.
major NBA event.
Get a little
The
LeBron
All-Star
action.
break, and you cut to an AEW commercial.
Yeah.
And you have that crossover. You know what? You just got 8-9 million people that have and they have not watched wrestling.
Whoa, this is
and
cool.
It goes, wrestling is back on TNT. Wrestling is back on TBS.
Yeah.
Holy crap. And you're thinking, WCW. I used to watch wrestling. I used to watch, that's who you want. Those 35-year-olds, us.
Yeah.
We have left pro wrestling.
Right.
It's a very small amount of people.
Yeah.
But once you were a fan, that's easy to come back to.
It's in there.
Listen, I worked for a business, right? I worked, and people know what I was in. I was in a nightlife industry and blah, 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 blah.
That's a good way to put it. I like that.
We work with P1s and P2s. We would have special guests that come in on the weekends, and those were the P1s that would come in.
Yeah.
Those regulars that come in those are P1s. The P2s are guys that go down to a different type of bar. They go to a happy hour joint, and now we're trying to convert them as customers.
Right.
Those are that's not easy.
Yeah.
But if you have $100 million behind you, and you have a Turner Broadcasting that's saying, you know what, let's fucking go with this.
I can't wait.
And we got Cody Rhodes, we got the Bucks, we got all those guys that have created this buzz. And by the way, you don't have to think they're the best. You don't have to like their style. You don't have to be a fan of Cody and the Bucks.
Right.
But to appreciate the fact that we have a potential real competitor.
Absolutely.
And I'm surprised we have not heard about how they need to, Impact always catered to the P1s. Always.
Okay.
Always, always, always.
Like PWG, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, here's a great example. I've tried watching Paragon Pro from Vegas, and it was on when it was on Pop TV. The quality was just a step above Glow. Here's a question: what will become bigger success, the XFL or AEW?
Oh my god,
AEW.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know why you just kind of get that. You get a feeling about certain things, and I do kind of feel like XFL is already like dead in the water. It's just so effing bizarre.
We were ECW fans.
Sure.
Was there ever hope that thing would get mainstream?
No.
Never.
You knew it. We were in high school. And we knew it. We were like, this is going nowhere but here.
The second they got that deal on TNN, it was done. Ring of Honor. Did you ever feel that could be the real competitor?
2 years ago. No, I'm sorry. 3 years ago.
They could have.
Yeah.
They could have been something.
3 years ago.
Did you? Okay, but I'm saying getting over 1 million viewers a week on cable.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
I'll be honest. No.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. That is in your mind. Therefore, it'll never become that.
Right.
Once you have that on you, that stigma, it'll never become that.
Yeah. It's a very weird thing.
New Japan. Listen, New Japan will never. It's the best pure sports wrestling.
Absolutely.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But it will never do 1 million homes, even if you put it on USA.
Give it another couple of years. I guarantee you.
I don't know. Listen, it's fine for what it is. All they got to do is great business in Japan.
Yeah.
They got to do great business in Europe, and do those spot shows here in the States, and you're good.
It's a good formula, but they are slowly building. You want to, with that being a really good segue, you want to go through the Wrestle Kingdom card?
Wrestle Kingdom, let's do it.
Guys, are you going to wake up at 4 a.m. to tweet with us about?
The show starts at 3:00.
I'm giving it an hour.
You're giving yourself an hour to get into it.
Give myself an hour to get into it. So the pre-show, the dark match essentially is the #1 contender gauntlet for the never open weight 6-man tag championship, which this is basically trios.
Okay, give me. Hold on, where are you seeing the card? www. Oh, Wrestling Gang. Okay.
So the opening is a trios match. So you're getting Goto, Beretta, and Chucky T, right? That's one team. Suzuki, Lance Archer, and Davey Boy, which I think that's a hell of a trios team right there.
Okay.
Versus Taguchi, Mugabe, and Yano, which I think would be fun. Versus Nagata, Jeff Cobb, and Dave Finlay. That's a good team.
This is the gauntlet.
This is the gauntlet. It's a trios.
So by the way,
whatever.
no more New Japan Rumble.
No more New Japan Rumble. But this is probably going to be just as good.
Yeah.
And the final team: Marty, Hangman, and Pimp Juice.
Interesting that Marty's not on the main card.
Right, and also neither's Hangman.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny how they put him with Pimp Juice, but Pimp Juice is still
Bullet Club,
right?
Yeah,
it's kind of funny.
Bullet Club OG now, right?
Yeah, so I'm going with Marty Hangman or Suzuki, Lance Archer, and Davey Boy because they love KES, man.
Yeah,
like Japan loves Killer Elite Squad. The opener is apparently going to be for the never open weight championship. Kota Ibushi walking in as champion versus Will Ospreay.
First of all, what a opener!
Yeah,
to start the I feel terrible for the
everybody else on the card.
the match that follows this, especially because they're going to. I mean, these are two top workers in the world.
Yeah,
and they're the opener on this, and that says this is a stacked card, by the way. Who do you see winning this? I say Ospreay.
I think it's gonna. I don't know, man. I think Ibushi retains.
Ibushi retains.
Yeah, I think Ibushi retains.
I have a very different path I see this going.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going with Osprey. You're going with Ibushi.
Yeah. Okay. IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship. Tamatanga, Tangaloa versus Evil and Sonata versus the Young Bucks. Now, if
Hold on.
the Bucks leave Japan,
No. The following match is the Are you going in the order of the matches?
no.
Oh, okay. Do you want to go in the order, or you want to go in yours?
Sure, I gotta find the order.
Okay. Kanemaru and El Desperado versus Roppongi 3K versus Bushi and Shigo Takagi. That's the match. So I feel they're good. I mean, Roppongi 3K is great.
Got it.
You got it. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think of this match?
I am gonna go with Roppongi 3K.
Shingo Takagi. Sorry.
Who are you going with?
Let's go Roppongi 3K.
Okay. Next match, which I'm looking forward to, big time. Tomohiro Ishii versus Zack Sabre Jr. for the British Heavyweight Championship, of which Ishii's the champion.
Ishii's the champion.
I think Sabre takes it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm okay with that.
I think he puts Zack over like big time.
Yeah.
The next one is the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Champion. Can't speak today. Guerrillas of Destiny versus Sonata and Evil versus the Bucks. And the Guerrillas of Destiny are the champs. This could either go either way. I think it's going to either be a swerve and the Bucks win, or Sonata and Evil win.
Sonata and Evil win.
Okay. Because if the Bucks are leaving Japan, they don't need to win.
Mm-mm.
This could be their last match in Japan for a very long time.
Yeah, this could be their last match forever in Japan.
IWGP United States Championship. Cody is the champion versus Juice Robinson. I think Juice goes over.
Yeah, this they had to do it this way. Juice lost his rematch, so because he needs to win it here.
Yeah.
Juice winning it is the right way to go with this.
Okay. Kushida versus Ishimori for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. I think this is going to be a fantastic match.
Yeah, very good match.
Every match is going to be fantastic, but I'm very much looking forward to this. They work a very similar style. I love Kushida. Kushida has had eyes on him from WWE for a while now.
You think? Yeah, but what happens to him?
Do you think he gets thrown in NXT?
Kushida?
Yeah.
No, I think he stays.
Okay.
I think Kushida stays.
Top 3 matches of the night, starting with a non-title match. This is the only non-title match of the card, besides the big
right.
trios.
You're right.
Okada versus Jay White. Jay White being the new leader of the Bullet Club, defecting from Chaos, right? Or no? Am I right about that? Yeah. Okay. And taking Jado and Gato with him versus Okada, who has not quite been the Rainmaker.
So I don't know if you end because Okada's won historically every at Wrestle Kingdom. He's always top guy. I don't know if you continue his downward spiral or this is his comeuppance moment.
I think Okada goes over.
You think Okada goes over?
Yeah.
I think Okada should lose and Jay White gets elevated and Okada starts his year of retribution.
I think, all right. So, like, the top 3 matches here, I feel like are going to kind of have something to do with each other. The next match, Jericho versus Naito for the Intercontinental Championship. The stipulation was added today that it is a no-holds-barred match.
Yeah.
Brother.
I
think Naito regains the title.
Yeah, he has to.
Right?
Because Jericho's not committing to
Another year. Even though I would love to see Jericho do like different spot shows. I would love to see Jericho Okada, I think Naito's going to go over. And that being said, it makes more sense that Naito goes over as well as Evil and Sonata because they're part of the same faction.
Yeah.
And that would be kind of cool to see LIJ with the belts. And the final match, Kenny versus Tanahashi.
So it depends on what's going on with Kenny and his contract, right? His contract ends at the end of the month.
Okay.
Nobody's talking about what's happening with Kenny this year, if you notice that about his contract.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about it. If he wins, I'm assuming that means that he stays.
Okay.
If he loses, which I think it would be interesting for him to lose to Tanahashi.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Do you think the ace goes out on top?
It's tough. I don't know. I think Kenny. If Kenny's like the leader of Japan,
Mm-hmm.
he obviously should look strong. He's going to look strong anyway in this match. But I think Tanahashi getting that comeuppance, because really the whole feud has been Kenny telling him that his style is outdated and he's old and his style doesn't mean shit anymore.
But also Tana telling him that he's not pro wrestling.
You're not pro wrestling, yeah.
You know, like you're not traditional pro. You're not Japanese wrestling. Like,
Yeah.
you're something else. You know. I'm very excited about this match, man. Just because like they both wrestle very similarly if you think about it.
They do, yeah.
But it's that clash of styles that, you know, Tanahashi, very, very ground based, 2 big moves off the top rope, you know, very traditional wrestler. Kenny could do anything.
It's going to be, listen, this is going to be a very
17 stars.
I don't think it's going to be as good as the Okada match.
76.5 stars.
I do think it's going to be a phenomenal match. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near the Okada match, and I'm not expecting it to be.
I think between the last 3 matches, you're gonna get some kind of weird shit. Right?
I think the weird shit's going to be in the Jericho match. That's going to be a brawl. Because you got to remember, you can't have. It's the Okada Jay White match is going to be a wrestling match.
Mm-hmm.
The Kenny Omega Tanahashi match is going to be a wrestling match. You can't have. It's going to get lost.
Is Jericho? Hang on. No, I'm sorry. Jericho is no disqualification, not no holds barred.
No DQ.
So no DQ also means he can get outside help.
Yeah, chairs, tables.
You know.
You're going to see a lot of that. It's going to be a brawl.
Yeah.
And it has to be. It can't be a wrestling match.
Yeah.
It really can't.
He put Naito through a table.
I think it's such a weird combination of him and Naito, because
I love it.
Naito, like, I feel like he sometimes doesn't know what to do with Jericho.
I think it's the opposite, man. I think
Or Jericho doesn't know what to do with Naito. Not in a weird way, not in a bad way.
Uh-huh.
I just think it's like a. I think Jericho Okada would have a more of a wrestling match than Naito and Jericho.
I don't know, man. I can't wait to see these guys go at it. And with his weird mask and the lipstick and all that, you know, and the hat, that'd be awesome. But I do think, again, I made this prediction like a month ago, and I don't know what's going to happen, especially because it's like if Tanahashi loses, I believe he is not able to go for the big belt again.
Is that the stipulation?
Right. Now, again, going with these are the 6 guys have been in the top 3 matches 2 years in a row, right? These are the 6 guys that ended Wrestle Kingdom last year, except they were shuffled.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think if you have Tana lose, Omega retains, kind of cementing that legacy a little bit, right? I think you could go one of 2 ways or 3 ways. One, Kenny beats the hell out of Tanahashi to the point where Kenny starts getting booed, and it's kind of like a knockout finish almost. Right? That being said, possibly Okada runs in and helps Tanahashi because they were doing the Super Tag League. They became buddies this year. Right?
Okay.
Another possible ending, which I kind of do feel like New Japan has probably thought of, and it would be cool because it's the only time you're ever going to see it. Either Jericho challenges for Kenny's title after he loses,
Jericho,
right? Or Jericho helps Kenny because they're 2 guys from Winnipeg.
That's interesting too,
right? Like, I think you can go so many different ways with this. Jay White challenges Naito. Okada gets put in the title picture somehow again. I think 2019 for New Japan, it could be balls to the wall bananas. But again, I could be let down.
Yeah.
You know? Who knows what's going to happen? What do you think?
I think it's going to be Tanahashi getting the win in the end.
Okay.
And
everybody goes home happy.
Everybody goes home happy. He celebrates. Kenny's in the ring, and then you do the thing, whatever you do at the next day, New Year's Dash.
Okay.
I think that would be the way I would see it going.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's very interesting.
It's very interesting.
It's a lot of moving parts, dude.
Yeah.
It's not only about matches ending. And then listen, dude, we're in Rumble season.
Yes.
You know, and it's amazing. We have not spoken about WWE once today.
Hey, whatever.
Barely. We spoke about Mustafa Ali.
Whatever, dude.
But isn't that interesting? I mean, really,
2 weeks of tape programming.
it was tape programming.
Not really
so
getting much.
Right now, we're going into the season.
Yeah, I think next year NXT is gonna go completely apeshit. I love the fact that at the Garden show they had the NXT guys do a 5-on-5.
Yeah, that was great.
You know,
And that got a lot of attention.
Crowd went nuts. I think 2018 was a crazy ass year for wrestling. I think 2019 has the potential to be even more bananas.
Yeah.
Do you think Vince is going to come out and do the Attitude Era promo or the Ruthless Aggression promo?
He's been doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, and Triple H is doing that too. Where I need energy, I need anger, I need the old stuff. Dude, Seth curb stomping. What's his name on Raw?
Yeah. Bobby Lashley.
Lashley's manager. What's his name?
Oh, Leo Rush.
Leo Rush. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Leo sold that thing so well.
Yeah. You think they want to bring badasses back?
Because of Becky. That gets over. But here's the thing, right? You gotta have those badasses, but you gotta not have heat and everything. Every match has heat. Heat.
Yeah.
Every finish is heat. Everybody gets heat on the other. Like sometimes you just need to end something, and then just so you save the heat for the blow off.
Yeah.
For the finish of the real match. Every match is heat. It's too much.
Do you think Finn gets pushed to the moon this year?
I don't know. I'm curious to see the next couple of weeks. I think that's going to be evident the next couple of weeks in how they start booking for Rumble and how they start booking for Mania. There's been I mean, obviously Drew is the big guy. Drew's looking great.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens.
MG Geek says the Tony Storm stuff is getting interesting. Well, she got leaked and she deleted all her social stuff.
Yeah, somebody got a video or a photo of her, and then they leaked it to the internet. I think probably trying to sell it, and nobody bid, so they just released it.
Good for her for deleting her social media profile.
Don't do it. I mean, it's crazy. But you know what's amazing though? Some of the people that are messaging her,
right?
Like, holy shit!
Yeah.
Like there are. It's terrifying to me because these are real people.
Yeah,
they function in society.
Yeah.
There are moments that I am totally against anonymity on the internet.
Yes.
I'm like, you know what? I want everybody's information
exposed.
Let's see how you behave then.
Oh yeah,
Let's
absolutely.
see what you say and how you act and you listen. It's terrible,
bro. My page is private for personal reasons.
Yeah.
I don't know. People are shitty, but it's also like, you can't evolve without taking a look at yourself in the mirror.
Listen, it's society. Kim Kardashian is the biggest star in the world because of a porn tape. Pam Anderson has a porn tape. I mean, all these
peed on.
Who got peed on?
Kim Kardashian. She got peed on by Ray J.
Not on a tape.
Yeah, on a tape. That's on the tape.
I don't think so. I think that's a falsehood.
Ray J took a big old pee on her.
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure. Guys, am I right about that? I'm pretty sure I'm right about that.
I don't know. No, listen. I think it's shitty. Why anybody would think that, want to do that? It's mind-boggling to me.
People hate themselves, and they like to tear down people who are in a higher position. Why isn't it me? Well, you know what? Work hard, make something yourself, and then you'll have other people shitting on you.
You know what's amazing though? What's amazing is that she was just coming up, right?
Yeah.
Whoever got this. Did they do it for shits and giggles, or is there a vendetta? Is it? You know what I mean? Like that's. I don't know what's worse: to be so angry at somebody to do that, or you just don't give a shit. You have no remorse, and you don't care.
I think it's the latter.
You think it's?
I think it's just a troll.
Yeah.
And most of this stuff are just trolls who are like, like what I did.
Yeah.
No.
It's terrible. Terrible. So I hope it doesn't affect their career. Guys, that's it. We're wrapping up here. Go to our website, gfknetwork.com. Subscribe to us. We're everywhere podcasts are available. Are we recording? I got to be done. I have a hard out at like 12:50.
That's fine. I think we have an hour. I think we can do
one Rumble match.
We can do one Rumble
match.
match.
We're not airing this live. We're signing off.
Uh-oh.
If you want to watch it, you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/MattMattenPodcast, and catch it there. You can follow me on Twitter @AndrewZarian. You can follow Rich, BTC Rich. a Matt Men podcast, and we'll be back tomorrow with a Wrestle Kingdom recap. So see you next time.
Later.